Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to see about putting the seal and the gasket on the crank of the Z motor for the Project R pulling tractor. Something I found out when I ordered the parts is you need to know what rear seal that your engine has. For Z, there is a felt seal. Here's a brand new one. It's got the little piece of rubber in the middle, and on the inside too, that little piece of black. And then where to put it, or you have the other style, which is a lip seal, brand new from Agco too. So I ordered these from Welter's Farm Supply in Verona, Missouri. Welter's Farm Supply? Welter's Equipment. No, that's Welter's Farm Supply. I got a calendar from them on the wall. Welter's Farm Supply is who I got the parts from. I talked to Lois, and when I ordered the parts, I told her I need a rear main seal and a gasket for. You need the gasket to put here, you need the seal to go inside here, in this one. The other one just presses in. This is the 90-year project with the lip seal. So anyway, when I had the crank turned for the 90-year project, I ordered gaskets for the whole bottom end because I haven't done the top end. I ended up with a felt seal. And it turns out that was wrong for that, which was right for the Z. So it took a few extra days to get that part ordered, and of course then to get it here from Missouri. And Lois, she knows her stuff. She can rattle things off. Her whole family, I think it started with her dad, started Welter's Farm Supply years ago, sold Minneapolis, Moline, and right on through White, I believe. But they still are a current part supplier. So if you need something, that is one of many sources you can still get Moline parts from. All right. So that's what I learned. The felt seal, you know what? I'll show you the crank. Yeah, I'll show you the crank, and then you can see. You'll be able to see the difference. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so this is the 90-year project crank. It's got a worn groove where the rear main seal has been spinning for years and years. I bought a speedy sleeve, so when I go to put that crank back in and put the seal on, I'll put that speedy sleeve on there and seal that up. And this is the Project R engine, or actually a Z engine for the pulling tractor. But in there you can see grooves, and those grooves pull the oil back into the engine. So when it slings out to here, it gets sucked back into the engine, sort of. The grooves are just there to just try and wick it back away from the seal. And so this is the felt seal crank, and the 90-year project is the lip seal that I mentioned with the speedy sleeve. Well, I already got the back of the Z engine scraped. Quick scrape this clean. Get the old gasket off. Well, it's been a heck of an afternoon. Got some stuff done this weekend. And I thought, Monday's shaping up pretty good to work on the pulling tractor and get something accomplished. Well, wouldn't you know, it didn't quite work out that way. I mean, it's nothing bad, but just all the time you got to spend on something else to get other projects done. There we go. So I ended up working in the house, doing some chores. Got things taken care of for the weekend for me. And then for lunch I went outside and got the leaf blower out and cleaned the driveway and the patio and, you know, yard maintenance. Took care of that. And then, there we go. And what else did I do? Oh, so you gotta squeeze this in here. I had to pry it out with a pick and a screwdriver, so it's gonna have to go back in the same way. Anyhow, cleaned the yard and driveway and the patios with the leaf blower. Then I go in the house, had lunch. Okay, I'm ready to go out. Come out here, started dinking around doing something else. Found some pictures and some signs, and so I hung those out here in the shop. You know, the stuff that the wife won't let you have in the house. It's alright. I don't necessarily want it in the house for everybody to view either. They come out to the shop and see it, great. So did that. Started setting up to work on this, and I realized I didn't have any Foreman gasket, which I'm also working on the house projects, I should say, plural. Oh, there we go. So I need a couple things from town, which I was going to do that after work this week instead of making a special trip, but then I made a special trip because I need a Foreman gasket. Just basically a sealer. I've used that stuff for years, especially on tractors, because the surfaces that you're trying to seal aren't always the best. Almost got my glove stuck in there. So then you get home, run or go to town, run your errands, come back. You look out in the field and you see, oh, the cows need to be fed. Great. So get the loader tractor started. The battery is dead, so I had to charge it. And I only charge it enough to get it started. Mistake number one. Whew, boy, this is. Hope this doesn't come apart. So, where was I? Got the loader started, went over, cut my bale open, stabbed it, picked it up, started back up, tractor dies. Wouldn't you know, it ran out of gas. Well, quick shut it off, get the gas, fill her up. Hope you had enough charge in the battery. And wouldn't you know it, you don't. Because you're in a hurry to feed cows so you can get back to playing with this. All sorts of fun. So, pulled something over there, jump started it, and away we went. Now I'm in here. And the seal is not going in very well. You see that? It's all wonky right there. It's not supposed to be. So I'm going to mess with this and I'll bring it back when I get it figured out. So check this out. This is a 2-piece seal for that felt seal. I kind of thought it was to begin with. It's got these little dimples don't know if you can see that. There's dimple there, and dimple there. Another dimple. There's dimples around there to help hold that ring in. Excuse me. Anyway, I thought I was actually bending and wrecking it the first time I tried doing it. And well, the other part was I was sticking a screwdriver into that old felt seal, and it just didn't seem to be going anywhere. So I kind of gave up. Just like I said, I used picks and a screwdriver and pulled it out and verified it was felt, and ready to go. I'm trying to put it together and it don't want to go together. You look at it a little closer, two-piece like that. Get this cleaned up. And then we'll try it again. It's funny, my goal was today, I was going to get that engine installed, or hung back on the way it was. It's just not working out that way. Little things like this keep creeping up and slowing you down. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's much nicer. Much nicer, yeah. Glad I stopped and checked that out. So if you would have cut that and made it fit in there the way I was going the first time, more than likely what would happen is this would have been too small, and as the crank spun, it probably would have pulled it to one direction and created a gap where your cut was. Even if you tried gluing it back together, it probably would have pulled apart enough eventually, and it would have just started pouring oil out of that rear main. But that's not happening. Okay, so it seals down because this ring traps it in there. Got all those dimples holding it in place. There we go. Inspect it. We are pretty close. There, pop past one of them dimples. Yeah, I'm not getting it where I want it yet. Oh, there we go. A punch. Excuse my reach. Like that would be real handy. It doesn't have a square edge on it anymore. Maybe that edge. Maybe that does. Square enough. There it popped in. Kind of feel it. There's one right there that's not popped in yet. See those dimples, feels a little lumpy because I should have did this to start with. There, I think we got it. That will work. Excuse me again. What were we talking about? Anybody remember? Me neither. Just out in the shop, piddling away. depending on the mechanic. Okay, form a gasket, stir it up a little bit. Looks like it's separated some. And we're going to put a thin coat on here. And two, this will help the gasket stay in place while you're trying to install. I mean, some people use grease. There is what is it, Hi-Tac for gaskets. I don't know. This has worked good for years, so keep doing it until it proves it doesn't. Come on, that. Let's see. Right there. I'm always looking for old OEM parts. You know, sometimes you get lucky and get them. I mean, this package looks kind of old, but there's no part numbers. Typically a 10A or an EE type part number, not on there. Line that up with the holes, just like that. And it's not stuck there. It's not permanent. But it is holding. So next step is we're going to move. Oh, no, didn't want to stay. Normally that stays. Maybe because all my stuff is old and I finally ran out and it dried up and all I have is new stuff that really changed formula. I don't know. Anyway, we'll take this, we'll move over to the engine and we'll get that installed. Alright, here we are. Let's stir this former gasket up a little better. Then we'll get this installed. Hey, so I had a question in the comments. Somebody asked me, hey, where's your daughter? Why isn't she out here working? I don't make her come out. Over the years, since she was little, if I came out in the shop, she would ask if she could help. And I said, sure, of course you can. So I'd try and find something for her to mess around with or beat on or whatever. I mean, and sometimes I said, right now I don't have anything for you to do. It's like, well, can I sweep? It's like, yeah, of course. Here's a broom, there's a dustpan, there's a garbage can. There you go, have at it. And, you know, she was happy helping. And then sometimes she'd get on this stump here and she'd race next to the car from the door to the bench, to the door to the bench on her tummy. So that was something to remember. Definitely got some video of that years ago. You know, memories. So anyway, she doesn't come out to the shop much anymore. She just started wanting to pull this last season, so she was able to go with me. She would pull. You know, if you've been watching for a while, you saw her pulling Krusty, my former H, and then had shoulder problems, and we're going to the Northwest Fall Nationals, and it's like, well, I need to get her on that because I'm not going to take both tractors over there. Krusty doesn't do very well on the track that they have. I mean, it does good on a hard, damp, you know, good moisture clay track. You can just about walk away from anybody. but not the case in Moses Lake. So anyway, I don't make her come out to the shop. If she wants to come out and she wants to help, absolutely. As it is now, she is in FFA. She has what they call SAE projects. Well, I'm going to put some oil on it so that's not dry when we start it. Hang on, I'm going to grab some oil. Okay. Some engine oil on here. That way it doesn't start dry. There we go. Where were we with Rand? Oh, so she is in FFA. She has some weld shop classes at the high school. She is taking welding. She's enjoying that. She also has to take what they call SAE projects, which is a supervised agricultural experience. Well, we started with a hay wagon, which is right outside the door behind the Plymouth. She tore the deck off, stripped it clean. I had her repack the wheel bearings, put everything back together. I showed her how to do one. I kind of helped her with whatever was left. And she did it. She only has to have 10 hours to do that project. She had it. And that was it. Wagon's not done. You know what? I'm gonna put some oil on. I don't know if you're supposed to soak this or how this works, but something tells me that should have some oil on it. So again, the wagon's sitting. She could have worked on it more. That was her freshman year. Now she's a sophomore. We're in the new year. She took another weld shop class and she has to do another SAE project. Well, as you can see, the shop is full. And I don't want to park the Plymouth outside. One, it's an old car. It's in decent shape, and two, the windshield leaks in one spot, and I don't want that to start a rusting issue. It's not a problem right now, and I don't want it to become a problem. So sure, just have somebody pull the windshield out and seal it up. I've had the windshield replaced. Maybe by the wrong person, but the thing leaks. And I didn't know it years ago. I was probably 17 when I had I was probably 19 when I had that windshield replaced. So anyway, I don't want that sitting outside while Rand's working on a project. Alright, now I gotta try and get that goofy thing back over the crank. I don't know if I need to spin it or what. It's nice and tight though. Wouldn't you know it? Yeah, we're going to be bouncing back and forth trying to get that on. Whew. trying to put it on even, but well, this might take a little bit, so I'll work on this and let you know what I find out and how I got it installed. Well, it didn't take long to figure out. Just need a hammer to the tap. Tap that on. I think. Maybe not. There we go, I think. Watching that black O-ring in the gasket to make sure everything's going even as possible. And I'm using the wood to handle end now. Time you think you got it, comes right back off. Well, it's going to be a fickle pig, so we will continue on. I'll bring it back when I do get it. Well, turns out I really needed to hit it where I had this top screw that I was trying to use to line my gasket up with. The gasket's still lined up. See, it tore a little felt off. I don't think that'll hurt anything. What do I know? This is the first one I've installed. I've unstuck engines, got them to run without splitting, and fortunately, I haven't had to do too many clutches, although there's the loader track. The loader either needs a new clutch or needs a clutch adjustment. All right, back to this winding, weaving story of Rayanne coming into the shop. So I don't make Rayanne come to the shop to do work. If she wants to do some, I'll show her. Just like I did with their SAE project in the hay wagon. This year's SAE project, it's an indoor project in the house, not necessarily egg related at all, but she wanted to fix the drywall in her bathroom, which meant I had to get a ceiling fan installed, do some ceiling repairs to somebody else's ceiling repairs. And now it's all sanded and ready for texture. But again, she has her 10 hours in for that project, which is what she has to have. So she didn't have to come to the shop and do anything. And most of the time, at least during the winter, I do this stuff on Monday, on my day off, and everybody's at, wife's at work and kids at school. Okay. But again, if she wants to come out and learn how to do something, if she wants to work on a project, that's fine. I will show her. But I'm not going to make her. I am, however, going to start showing her how to balance the weights for tractor pulling. She definitely needs to figure that out. So far, she's just a hired driver. And she's cheap. I don't have to do nothing but feed her. So, that is this year's plan. Anyway, that's why I don't make her come out. She tends to get an interest and she will ask. The last thing I want to do is make her do something. Not make her do something that she won't like it, but I mean, she has chores. But she's happy with learning how to weld right now. So we'll call it good for. We'll call it okay for her. All right. So next thing we're going to do is grab the flywheel. Make sure I grab the right one. And we'll get it put on these 2 dowels and start bolting that on. Use some sandpaper to clean the rust off the face of the flywheel. There's no cracks in it that I can see, and it is smooth. And somebody painted a white line on the flywheel, and I've seen other evidence that I think somebody's in here, and this may have been turned already. I don't know for sure. The spot. If you missed out on the last video where we talked about clutches, differences of the Z and the R, we found out that the RTI has a 10-inch clutch and the other R's have 8 or 9-inch, which means they took more meat out of the flywheel here to fit a 10-inch disc. That makes this lighter, if I am not mistaken. So the next step is we're going to get this flywheel on there. Feeling the pilot bushing, and it feels nice. So we're going to reuse that. Yeah, again, we got to line this thing up. Get that on the dowels without crushing fingers or dropping the flywheel. Here we go. Hey, 1 bolt. 2 bolt. There we go. Should be able to tighten that up and suck the flywheel in. I don't have any wrenches over here for this. That one's stopping awful early. Pull that one back out and take a look. It looks like there is something in the threads of this, so maybe we'll back that out of the towel. We'll try it again. Alright, get a wrench and or socket, and we'll start sucking that in. Kind of back and forth, get it to go on even. getting close. See the dowels starting to show themselves. That one's snug. That one's snug. Snug. All right. And then these bolts are supposed to be 70 to 80 pounds with a torque wrench. So finish getting this. Get the torque wrench out. We'll torque them. Just another step closer to hanging this thing on the front of the tractor. All right, torque wrench. I'll be right back. Well, we're close, but my torque wrench isn't ratcheting. Just kind of free spins. I had it set on 0 when I put it away. That way it doesn't screw up the calibration on it. I turned it to 74. I was going to kind of go for the middle. And nothing. Shoot. We're so close. All we have to do is torque 4 of these, safety wire them, put the clutch in, and hang the engine. So we're close. I'm gonna see about getting this replaced. It's Craftsman, so I'll take it to the local hardware store and hopefully I can get a new one. So until then, we'll be right back. Dang thing, so pretty looking.